you have a villa, invite us, mofos.
Well, let's move on to some of these strong predictions here with Samson Mow. So Samson Mow is kind of a Bitcoin maxi, not too unlike us, and he's a CEO of Jan3, so he runs basically a Bitcoin type business, and he's saying that Bitcoin will likely hit $1 million very, very soon, or like within this cycle. What do you think about that?
I think that if you see the models, it's possible. If we like in few weeks we hit 100K, it's like, and we have seen it, right? We have seen that this could go. I would be very curious where it will come from, right? Like, is it going to come from more political because maybe another country, a bigger country, is going to start just using it? Yeah, because let's be honest. Will you put your money like in rubles, right? I mean, I have a lot of Russian friends, so no offense there. But it's like
true. Like,
and the same rupees or even like Mexican peso, right?
Yeah. Hey, Mexican peso is doing pretty good lately, so
this is for sure. We'll discuss the upcoming Mexican economy, right? But
right.
The reality is that the answer is no. No, even dollars, though, right? It's like we mention it, and it's not all even us. You have like rate value. He said like several months back that trash is the cash is trash, which is kind of weird, right? Like then you see Michael Saylor basically saying, "Hey, people that hold fiat, we call them the poor.
We call them poor. Yeah, it's like these are like interesting quotes here, right?
Yeah, so I think that we have to come up with one, I guess, ourselves.
Yeah, exactly. We'll coin one here soon. But one thing that Samson Mow does point out, and this is something that we've said, right, for the OG degens out there that you alluded to earlier, Mando, is that there's this thing called the Veblen effect. And what the Veblen effect says is like...
wait, a what?
Veblen. It's not... I'm like, a Veblen? What the heck is that, right?
Yes.
It's like a goblin? No, kind of like a goblin, right? No, but a Veblen... The Veblen effect basically says that as Bitcoin's value increases, it becomes more desirable, okay? So... as it goes up, more people want to buy. So that's potentially leading to surpassing the gold market cap and becoming the new standard for storing value. And that's how it would demonetize gold. Okay, so the Veblen effect basically describes what all the OG degens are doing, or basically once we get to the top, everyone kind of FOMOs in. That's what he says is going to probably attribute to that $1 million. Of course, we know how Bitcoin cycles happen and work. They go up, reach a top, and then come back down a little bit afterwards. So while, yes, it may reach that $1 million point, it usually comes back down. Mm-hmm. Of course, with all of the demand and the halving and things like that, the question is, okay, how far back down is it going to come? And that's why we rely on some of the other models like the rainbow chart and the others to tell us that.
Basically in US, though, there is almost close to 24 million millionaires. So that can give you, just in US, right? And if they want a piece of Bitcoin, right? So, and it's only, in theory, it's supposed to be 21 million Bitcoins always. But right now, I really think that it's going to be way less than with that, because all of the Sys coins, all of the people that died and they didn't
were able to it or whatever.
Yeah, transfer or whatever, or even hacks or lost it by bad hardware or things like that. I think that we might be just closer to 19 millions, like that we could have access to the whole ecosystem. And globally, there are about 55 million millionaires. And again, it's not only the millionaires that buy crypto, right? But it just gives you an idea, if you start kind of distributing, how these prices can go very, very high.
Exactly. So those are some of the price pressures that drive the price up over time. Another interesting one here is Fidelity, another price prediction. So this is like the kind of the big one. So Jurrien Timmer of Fidelity, he predicts that one Bitcoin could be worth $1 billion by 2038. 2038 is just around the corner, right? It's under 15 years from now. $1 billion Bitcoin. And he even says we would get to 100 million first by 2035. So that's like in just 10 years. But if you think about it in terms of cycles, $1 billion Bitcoin maybe in 3 cycles, 100 million in 2 cycles. So that's kind of how you start thinking about it in terms of these Bitcoin cycles where you see these blow off tops and things like that. So, but his predictions are based on basically a combination of stock to flow and this demand model that he's come up with. And demand basically meaning we got institutional investors that want to buy, like Mondo was saying, we've got so many millionaires in the world that want to buy. There's a people that are a flight to value, right? So people that are moving, instead of buying art or real estate, they're going to buy Bitcoin instead. There's that demand. So that's what he's using to get to this $1 billion by 2038, again in 15
My
years.
bet, though, is that maybe dollar loses its value.
You're right. That's part of the
it's
too,
like,
right?
maybe that billion is like, it will be like a 1 million in today's time, right?
That's true. If there is hyper Bitcoinization, and if y'all haven't heard that term, it's like when everything in the world is like denominated in Bitcoin, like instead of dollars or whatever, becomes like the standard currency. Instead of, or not just hyper Bitcoinization, but you might see hyperinflation in some areas. And I think maybe he's probably including some chance of something like that happening, right? Where the value of the dollar continues to kind of drop because of inflation. So that would help out to get a $1 billion Bitcoin, I'm sure.
Yeah. I start liking it more, Fidelity, after they name it their ETF FBTC.
I do like that too. But how do you say that? It's like, fuck FBT, or no, fuck BTC, or like, yeah, fuck BTC.
Yeah, it's like FBTC, man. It's like, that's the name.
It's like, it's catchy though. I like it.
It's catchy. I'll tell them now, whoever was the marketing person over there, like, kudos to you. You were able to push that thing into this, like the suits, like.
Imagine him going into the conference room. Is like, this is my idea, and he puts it up on the screen. FBTC. Everyone's like,
there are a couple things like that. Like, sometimes I see the rockets, right? Like from the Amazon Blue Origin rocket. Like, come on, man, that one looks like a penis.
Make it pointier.
It's like, how you cannot actually. I mean, I think that sometimes they do it on purpose.
I know, right? Elon has said so himself already, right? He's like, make it pointier, man. That's too funny. But yeah, it is catchy. I'm probably going to diversify into some Fidelity also. So got to give him props. I like what all the ETF ecosystem did. So I want to reward them a little bit with some of that.
Share some love. If you have some accounts like in 401k and you are like a Bitcoin maxis, why not? Like, sprinkle the love. IBTC, FBTC, Hodl, right?
That was too funny. Well, of course, this is the last. We've got one more. Cathie Wood. She's one of the OGs as well. She's been promoting Bitcoin for a long time now, and she says that the Bitcoin price could go up to about $3.8 million here pretty soon as well. She's saying she just actually recently revised this. She was saying like $1.5 million or something like that. But now that the ETFs have seen such success recently, she recalibrated, redid her model, and now they're saying $3.8 million due to like all the adoption that they've seen with this. And she thinks this by 2030. So within this cycle or next, it should get you 3.8 million. So that's not too far off. We're talking about 5-6 years here. That she's thinking 3.8 million is attainable. So it's pretty much in line with a lot of the others that we're seeing.
Yeah. So it is getting pricey and pricey, right? So we were having saying get at least point 0.2 Bitcoin, but now even that, right, is like for some people might not be. So do $50, right? Like do whatever you can. Some of this money might be substantially differently. Uh, see them as lottery tickets. If maybe that $50 becomes maybe a million in in some point, right? So, but yeah, don't tell us that we didn't told you.
Yeah. And you know what? And just remember, like the Bitcoin halving is coming up, and that's also going to be supply shock, right? If you're thinking about demand and supply, if there's less supply and more demand, that's going to have a upward pressure on price momentum, right? Volatility to the upside. So that's what we've seen in the past, at least. Hey, I just want to remind y'all, if you like this content, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. It really does help us out. We love to hear your comments. We like to incorporate some of what you guys say into the show. So just a reminder, like, subscribe, and comment to help us grow.
And Eric loves his haters.
It's so funny. We get a lot of Craig Wright supporters out there. They're like,
Oh yeah, like what
he's
the
the
heck?
real Satoshi. You
Dude,
cannot
I
convince
just
me
think that it's Craig
otherwise.
himself. Like I'll give you.
It might be Craig. He might have a bot out there or something that looks his name up. Who knows?
or an army of people, right? So,
Yeah.
yeah. So, all right.
I do want to point out, man, on the all-time high meme video.
Mhm.
By the way, it's got over 6,000 views now. You guys have been awesome in supporting us with that video. But there's someone says, "Hey, buddies, like I love it. I'm gonna be in my villa here after the halving in South America. We're loving it. It's gonna be a party for the next year with Bitcoin prices going up. So we love to see that enthusiasm from y'all. We're also excited. We're also ready to party over this next year because we know what's coming. So
And if you have a villa, invite us, mofos.
I know, right? We'll do a remote location podcast taping. Awesome. So that's all we've got for the Billionaire Watch this weekend. I just want to remind you again, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. Again, we'd love to hear from you. We would like to bring you guys your comments up into our podcast so we can talk about them. And again, a reminder, if you haven't watched our viral Bitcoin all-time high meme remix, check it out on our channel. We'll link it there. And we do have a new one coming up fairly soon. We're almost finishing the editing, so you can have another cool Bitcoin remix to listen to on our channel.
Marinero.
Miguel Marinero, right? Michael Saylor. That's a good one. Well, that's all we've got for today. We'll see y'all next time. Dale.
Dale.